Hello there. This is Fairness, and I'm here with Blaze, with Mike, with the character Michael that is played by Blaze, and we're gonna continue his side of the story. That so we're gonna see what he did in these last couple of nights. So,
Mm-hmm.
Blaze, you are on the office with Sasha as usual, and you are continuing that discussion that you had about the mayor that is that he has a lover on his cabinet and this could hurt his reputation for the next election, and especially because this is essential for your clan because he was kind of a supported he was supported by the Ventru clan, and the opposition candidate it's being supported by the police, and especially certain battalions of the police that are connected to the Second Inquisition. So it is critical that the mayor don't harm himself, his reputation, right? Don't destroy his reputation. So you are with Sasha now. You're talking about you talked about a few other things as well, the economics that is not well, about some different businesses that you have, and most of them are struggling with the bad economics, macroeconomics. But feel free to act.
Sure. Yeah, just businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So, about the mayor,
Mm-hmm.
I did want to ask, would it happen to be that he is a ghoul of someone? Or is he just a human under our services?
Currently is not a ghoul. I think he was one from the start, but he currently is not. His sire was destroyed, so it
Mm.
has been some time that he is not drinking any vampire blood.
Mm. If the prince wouldn't be against it, I could act as his diminutor for a time. He was a ghoul already, I shouldn't have to explain the basics to him, and it'd be a start on the path to get him back on track.
I think I can arrange that. Don't worry.
Sure. Until that, I think I have other ways to get him in line.
Okay.
For instance, who is this secret lover of theirs?
We
Just the
we know it's a young woman. She's around in the 20s, probably leaving the university, and of course, you already put he's already putting her in a high position in his government.
mm,
She clearly it's not ready for the task, but most majority of the population doesn't really care about who is in the cabinet, right? In a
of course.
city, if you do that on a country, they may look at it who is the minister or something like that. But if you are looking at the city, no, nobody knows who they are. But
Mm,
of course, a reporter could find it out and and put room and put and making some news that would harm his reputation. Then most people wouldn't mind about having an incompetent secretary, but they would mind if the secretary is a lover.
mm. I see. Could I maybe get the address of the mayor, his house?
Yeah, yeah,
I think
sure.
I'd like to pay him a visit.
We have
Mm.
I have here one. I have his here his address. I can go with you.
Actually, I'd like to take care of it myself,
Okay,
unless you insist.
no problem. I'll talk to the prince then about your request.
Sure. Until I have that confirmation from the prince, I won't ghoul him, but I will make sure he understands that he needs to keep his image straight. Was
Okay.
there anything else you want to discuss?
No, no, no.
Sure. And I shall be heading off.
All right. Good luck.
And once, oh, yeah, thank you. And once she leaves, I'm gonna call Joshua, my driver, and I'm gonna tell him to pull up at the address. Around what time would it be? Um,
It's still early in the night.
would it be very late in the night?
No, it's still early. I think you you rise up probably around 8:30. So you
Sure.
are on the office. It means you got ready. You went to the office, and you have a meeting with her. So it's probably around 11 now. 11 something
Mm,
around. To get to the mayor, I would say midnight.
okay. So, by the way, do you need me to roll a rouse check for waking up?
Yeah,
See if I get hungrier?
yeah. Roll a one
Yeah.
d10. You can do it on Discord.
Yep. Now, okay, here it is. And I do not. I'm
Success,
good. Okay.
success. So you're
So
just
then
one
the first
hungry.
thing I'm gonna do is,
Hmm.
mhm, let's see.
So you're
I
gonna.
would like to, yeah, take the car,
Hmm.
Joshua, not a cab, straight to the mayor's place, and I'd like him to try and see if he can spot any lights still on in the house. It'd be around 12 when we get there, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm. So I'd like to see if the mayor is still awake.
So let's go to the mayor's house. Let's take out Sasha from here. Yeah, there are some lights in his mansion. You as you are gonna enter the mansion, you're gonna ring the bell.
Not yet. I'm just, if there's the lights on, I would like to see if Joshua can take a look around, maybe to spot if there's anyone else inside other than the mayor.
Yeah, he has servants, right? So like
Sure,
people that clean the house, cook food for him. Um, but he doesn't. So the house, there are some lights on
mm,
yet. So
okay.
certainly there are people inside the house.
Then yeah, I would like to go ring the bell. Me and Joshua. The engine is kept on just in case, but light off.
Okay.
Black SUV. It's very stereotypical.
As you ring the bell, a woman enters the door. She looks at you. She doesn't recognize you, and she says,
Mm,
"Hello. What do you want?" She has the door uh, kind of shut down, but
sure,
it's open enough for you both to speak, right? Oh,
sure.
what do you? Who are you? She asks.
Hello, my name is Michael Pierce. I am an associate, the mayor's. I'm just here to have a chat with him. Would you mind letting me in?
Oh, but it's so late. We hope your associate. I'll check with the mayor if he was going to receive you. Uh
And right before she goes, I'm gonna say I'm gonna activate awe,
huh.
which does not require a rouse check. and I'll
Okay.
say, "Oh, don't worry, you don't need to trouble him with that sort of stuff, and wouldn't want him to get mad for holding up his guests at the door. Anyways, you can just trust me on this one. We are expected."
Ah, okay. I don't think you need a row.
Sure,
Okay, join join in then, and she puts you on a living room like in the image, and and she
sure.
I'm gonna talk to the mayor, and she leaves, and it takes half an hour, 40 minutes, something
Jesus.
like that, and the mayor joins you.
hmm I would like Joshua to be standing somewhere nearby with his, like arms together, security guards type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Probably at the corner of the room, but I'd sit down somewhere. And once he does join me,
Yeah.
um, well, Mr. Mayor, you do like to keep your guests waiting.
Oh, sorry, I was already going to the bed, so I needed to change myself and
Mm,
get my face clean. I would not receive you in pajamas, right?
of course, though I would not have minded too much. Um, would you have to have some company tonight?
What kind of company? My wife is in here.
Let's see. No, no type of company. Then, see, I've been informed about some of your nocturnal activities, which are strangely more dangerous than mine. I do not risk anything with what I am doing, but you certainly are risking your reputation. You know what I mean? Your
He
little associate is causing problems for you, and if you want to win the election, you're going to need to cut it off.
he gulps like right? He does like this, and he clearly knows what you're talking about. And well, we cannot have this conversation here at my place. Uh,
Oh, we most certainly can.
can we meet somewhere tomorrow night?
No, I think it's fine if we do it just now. And
Mm,
if it's too much of a problem for you, I'm sure you can speak in a hushed tone, and I will as well. You wouldn't want your wife hearing. Terrible, terrible thing. Marriage is quite a problem. Ah, so, like I said, loose ends need to be cut off, and I want to know how you're going to get rid of that associate of yours.
oh, I see. Okay, I'll have her fired.
Sounds like a good idea. Yeah. And if I happen to catch you in some similar types of activities that would ruin your image, sexual or not, I would like to pay a visit again. And the next time Michael Pierce comes to visit you, make sure everyone knows to let him in. I understand you were once working for the Camarilla as a servant of sorts.
Yeah, uh, we
Mm,
there was there was a woman. Uh, she
of course it was.
she seemed like you. Yeah,
Mm,
at least in her way to talk. You remind me of
sure.
her. Yeah.
Would you happen to remember her name?
It was Maria.
Mm. Why are you no longer with Maria?
She just disappeared. I don't know. Last time I talked to her was 6 months ago, and she told me that she had to do some things out of town, and she would come back, and I kept sending her emails, but she never replied anymore.
Uh, I see. Quite irresponsible of her, leaving such a high authority like yourself all alone without her demeanor. Well, you'll be happy to know that once my higher ups give me the thumbs up, the green light, you will be under the employment of the camera light itself once again. And this is not a request to make sure you keep yourself in line. And if I think you're cooperating, and I think if I think that you've rehabilitated from your little women addiction, then I will consider giving you more leeway once this deal is complete, more freedom.
Okay, well, I see.
Hmm.
You're gonna give
So,
me blood as well?
not yet, but once my higher up says that I can, then I will.
No, okay, okay.
Mm. I'm
I
sure you
would like
can.
that. I would like that.
Mhm. Of course. And I handed my phone. Why don't you put your number down in there? Whatever business, personal number, whatever. I'll put all of them in there, all of your numbers,
Yeah, sure,
just in case I ever need to contact you.
sure, sure. And he puts numbers there, and
Mm,
he said thank you.
mm. Not a problem at all. I would also like the number of the lady you were meeting.
Are you sure you don't have to hurt her? Okay, I'll
I
give
didn't
you.
say anything about hurting her.
I'll give
A
you.
businessman such as myself. Do I look like I am capable of violence?
Uh, I'm not sure. You're very intimidating, but yeah, of course, I'll give you her number. And
Of course.
he puts her number there in the phone.
Sure. Once that's done, I'm gonna get up. I'll be like, okay, seems to me like we should not have any problems in the future. So I will be on my way. I will contact you again tomorrow night to see if Prince has given me the green light on this matter. And if he has, I'll pay you a visit. If he hasn't, then I'll pay you a visit anyways. But instead of giving you blood, I may need to take away some memories of what I've told you.
Okay.
Either way, have a good night and do sleep well.
Okay. Have yourself a great night as well.
Of course, all my nights are great. Then I leave.
Mm. You noticed that he
And
was.
one time out,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead.
You
Yeah,
noticed that
go
he
ahead.
was afraid of you, right? He
Hmm.
was with the body. His body was shaking a bit. He was, uh, you know, the usual intimidation worked very well.
Of course. I would like to call up that number he gave me of the woman.
You call the number. No, nobody answers. She's
Mm,
probably asleep now. It's around 1 a.m.
mm, right. Interesting. Well, let's see.
You gonna keep calling?
Um, sure. I'll spam a little bit.
Okay, roll 1d100. Let's see if you're lucky. If you are, she will awake.
Okay, one sec. 1D100.
Yeah, yeah, on this card. 1d100. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wrong channel. Rolls. There we go. Nice. 1D100. There we go.
No, you were
Well,
unlucky. You were quite unlucky. So you didn't manage
uh,
to talk to her. Not this night, at least.
sure. Well, I would still like to get that over with without her knowing even better.
Mhm.
Um, I would like to use my one dot contact at Elysium.
Mhm.
It's a guy that works for the sergeant of police
Mhm.
or whatever the local authority is in this city for the police. And I would like to see if they can ping this phone number to a location.
Okay. I think by the name of the woman and things like that. So and she's in a
Hmm,
cabinet. So it's kind of easy of finding her address, right? So the contact say, okay, I need a minute, and he checks in the data
mhm.
banks for a while, and half an hour later, 40 minutes later, says, okay, this is her address, and it's in the countryside.
Sure.
It takes
Hmm,
around 40 minutes to get there,
hmm.
so you're probably
Yeah, we're gonna drive there.
yeah.
Yeah, when we get there, I'm assuming the lights are off in the cabin. And is there any other cabins or houses or any signs of life nearby, of human life, of course?
Yes, yes. She has she lives in a house.
Hmm,
It's a comfortable house. It's like those suburbs, right? So you have like one house right beside the other. A nice street, clean street. Um, it's a wealthy neighborhood inside in the countryside. One of the few that are very wealthy. She the house of hers probably it seems too big for a university girl, right? A university woman. She probably sorry. She probably lives with her parents yet. Um,
hmm.
so it's probably her family's house, right? And she all the lights are shut down now. It's probably 2 a.m.
Hmm.
and you're very close to 2 a.m. and all the streets are like sleeping. You have some security on the street, like those some guys on bicycles that walk around during the night and blow their whistle to alert people and some people inside in some security inside some cabins looking. It's very small cabins, right? Checking if people are around, and they will notify the
Hmm.
police
Sure.
if they see something suspicious, right?
Yeah, no, for now we're gonna stay in the car. But how big is this house that she's living in? Does it look like it could house multiple people?
Yeah, yeah. It's not a huge house. It's not a mansion or anything like that. But
Yeah,
it's a house that could have a family for sure. It
sure,
has two levels, right? So the ground level and the first floor, and
sure.
it could have like 5 to 6 people inside the house,
Hmm.
or
A
less
lot.
maybe. Like it could be three, it could be five. You don't know.
Sure, but it could be multiple people. I
Yeah,
see.
and it
Um,
could have dogs, right? You don't know.
ooh, speaking of, in the yard, do I see if there's any animals?
There is a gate. There is a gate in front of the house, and you cannot see past through that gate. Uh, but uh, but usually there are. It's a common thing.
Hmm. And how well secured does this house look? Are there cameras? Are there lights shining at the house? Like, how visible would we be if we go in the yard?
There are cameras on the gate looking at the front
Hmm.
yard. And there are cameras probably uh, inside to aim to on the entrance of the house towards
Hmm,
the wall, right? If you try to jump the wall, probably you're gonna get spotted by cameras.
I see. Hmm, interesting. Uh, see, I want to do something.
Go ahead.
Okay, probably risking quite a bit here, but um, I want Joshua to try and sneak to the front door, and knock. Just knock. He's not gonna break in, nothing. I'll stay in the car.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna do the ring bell, right?
Sure, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. He the driver goes there and pushes the ring bell, ring the ring bell, right? And wait a few minutes, and then you start hearing a dog barking, and and a man comes to the door. It looks like an old man, probably in his 50s.
mm,
Answers the door. He's on his pajamas, and he answers the
sure,
door without opening, and
sure.
he's talking to the driver, right? Your driver.
So, he's talking from the other side of the door. It's not
Yeah,
open at all.
not open at all. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd like to join Joshua by now. I'd get to the
Hmm.
front door as well.
Okay.
And I'd just say that me and my associate are here from the police and that we are investigating this woman whose name I supposedly know.
Yeah, you do know. Her name is Monica.
Oh, yeah, Maria. Oh, yeah,
Maria,
Monica.
Maria,
Yeah.
Maria. No,
Maria,
Maria. Maria is the vampire.
the manager. Yeah,
Is the
excuse me.
vampire that disappeared.
Monica.
Her name is Monica.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just tell him from the police department and that we're investigating Monica with some relation to the mayor.
And the man says, "Okay, I'm her father, but she's been elected to the cabinet, but I don't know what you're talking about."
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if she told you, but the mayor has just made a decision to fire her, and it was under some very suspicious circumstances. Is she home by any chance?
Yeah, she's asleep. She studied in the morning and work all day, so she's pretty tired. Are you gonna arrest her or
Well,
something like that?
no, no, we're not going to arrest anyone, and I'm sorry for coming at such a late hour. But
Mm-hmm.
if it wouldn't be too big of a trouble, it would be good if we could come in and ask some questions, and we'll be on our way, and there won't be any handcuffs, nothing involved.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna wake her up. Please come
Thank
in.
you.
And
Sure.
then he opens the door, and the dog is barking like hell to you. And you don't
Of
have any
course.
mokin, right?
No, no.
Yeah.
Fortunately not.
No, he's barking like hell. Like it's a pit bull. And and the guy says, "Oh, shut up, Max,
Oh,
shut
actually,
up." Hmm.
I'll look at the man
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say, "Why don't you go handle your dog? Maybe take him out to another room, and I'll go speak with Monica myself. I'll wake her up. You won't even need to be troubled,
Oh
and I'll
no.
activate Mesmerize.
Okay. Uh, it's a
Need to
dominant.
make a roll?
It's a dominate, right?
Yeah, and I need
No,
to.
you don't need to
Yes,
make
I
a
need.
roll. You don't need to make a roll.
I'll just make
Uh,
the Ralph check then.
yeah, yeah. He's a mortal, unprepared mortal, right?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, the command is take care of the dog. I'll find Monica myself,
okay.
and I make the Ralph check. Hopefully, we don't get any hungrier.
I don't have a scene for her house, but I'll put you in a
It's fine.
Yeah, I'll put in another place, like just to remove from the.
Oof, we do get hungrier.
Okay,
Hunger two. Let me mark that down.
put like.
Okay. So I'll search around the first floor first to see if there's any bedrooms with any Monicas inside. If there's not, I'll go up to the second floor and do the same thing
Mm-hmm.
until I do find Monica.
You find her room quite easily. It's on the second floor. Um, you notice there's two big rooms, and one of them was the door open, and you figured it should be the father's, and the other one the door was shut
Sure.
down. You open the door, and you find a woman, a young woman, laid down with underwear on the bed. Uh,
Sure. He's asleep.
yeah, she's asleep. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll tell Joshua to wait outside the door, make sure no one comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And once I go in, I'll find a chair somewhere, something to sit on, maybe even the edge of the bed, and I'll just gently tap her to wake her up. Oh, and speaking of, I'll activate Blush of Life.
Okay.
Let me make another round check.
Yeah. Do another.
Just so I don't look too much like a corpse.
Okay.
Ooh, hunger three.
Okay.
Jesus.
She will get
Okay,
scared, right?
of course.
But roll for me charisma with it could be etiquette in a way that
Sure,
to wake her up without making a big fuss, right?
sure,
Otherwise, she will
sure.
scream if
And
you
can I
don't
add
do it.
my odd to that?
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Okay, it's gonna be quite a bit of dice. And I have, and the difficulty is three, you said?
I think difficult is four. It's kind of a difficult situation. You wake up and there's a
Sure.
man in your room, right?
There we go. Six successes.
Now that's enough. She wakes up. She
Mhm.
startled a bit when she looks at you. Uh, but she calms down and not calm down. She's still very nervous, but she asks like, "Who the hell are you? What you doing in my room?"
Well, Monica, my name is Michael Pierce. I am with a certain group of people, and I'm just here visiting on an investigation of sorts about the mayor and you being elected on the cabinet. I've spoke to him already. Spoke to your father. Everything's fine. Trust me on that.
You're
I'd just like to know how it came to be that a college woman, young adult like yourself, managed to get on the mayor's cabinet.
uh, then when you say that you're the police. Oh my! And then she covers herself right with a blanket, and she looks at you and gets a bit more calm, especially because you said you're the police and not a robber or anything like that.
Of course.
And then she says, "Well, I know him, and we got close, uh, and and he offered me this job, and I take it, of course, because
Right.
it's my I'm studying business, and he needed someone with financial knowledge for the treasury, right?"
Mm. I'm sure that's a cabinet position, but things have changed. There are some people that do not want you working for the mayor, and the mayor will soon notify you, probably tomorrow morning, I'm sure, that you have unfortunately been fired from your job. Quite an unfortunate thing.
Uh, oh,
But
okay.
uh, not completely break your heart. I myself, as a businessman I can offer you a job of sorts. I can that you work for one of my companies for, say, half a year. And if I'm happy with the work I'm getting, I will promote you to be an assistant mine for whatever company you work for. How does that sound?
So you're the police and you have companies?
I didn't say I was the police. I only said I'm with a certain group of people who I cannot name.
Oh,
Your father thinks I'm with the police. I'm not.
but you said you were investigating. I don't understand, but sure.
It's a private group. All you need to know is that we are politicians of sorts, and we are related to the mayor in a way, and he works for us. He works for me, and well, some people don't want you working for him. It's ruining his image. So I'm offering you a job, potentially a good seat in that business that I'm running. Uh, but there is one condition: you need to stop seeing the mayor, like completely stop that relationship you have with him. It's got to go.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll do that. Don't worry. Well, I need a job,
Sure.
right? I'm gonna get fired. She scratches her head and okay, okay. I don't see any issues. Just send me. How do you need like my CV or something like that? My curriculum.
No, not a problem at all. I actually already called your number a few times, but you were asleep. Sorry if I disturbed you at all. I will have one of my people give you a call tomorrow about the details and everything. Um, in the meantime, since we have agreed to this deal, we'll stop seeing the mayor. We'll get a workplace at my business. Um, as a future employee of mine, I do have to ask, what's that on your neck there? And I get a little bit closer.
Uh, oh, she has like a small jewelry on the neck, but nothing major, right? She even
Sure.
slept with it. But oh, it's just like it's a small cross, and it's like a religious thing, nothing major. And
Mm.
do you have any kind of repulsion of religion?
No,
What's
no.
your
My character is quite free of
yeah, yeah, sure.
compulsions.
So it's a minor crucible and things like that. It's not nothing.
Mm. Let's see. Are you religious at all? Or just for the family?
Yeah, I believe in God and I go to churches once in a while.
I see. And as I've already leaned close, I'd like to sneak in a little bite on the neck.
Okay. Um. Yeah,
Need me to roll anything?
you don't need to roll anything. She's kind of distracted, and I think it's an easy roll.
Sure.
Um,
I'll say
it would
to
be
hunger.
it would be like one success, right? So I don't. I think you're pretty
Sure.
much will be able to do that. It's
Yeah.
Les, how are you gonna do it? Like it's a strength plus brawl, like you're gonna grab her, or you're gonna
No, no, no.
it's more a
I'm
charming
gonna
thing,
like,
right? Yeah,
yeah, with charm.
yeah. No, so you
Yeah.
will manage to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's
I'm gonna play two hunger. I'm not at four, so I'm not at risk of frenzying. And once I'm done, supposedly she should be asleep again.
okay. Yeah, she will for certainly.
And I'll just cover her with a blanket. I'll leave a business card, and then I will go downstairs again with Joshua.
Yeah. How much hunger you are now?
I'm now back to one.
You're back to one. So you increased two and you drank two, right? Okay.
Yes.
Um,
And I would like to have a little chat with the father before I leave. He's handling the dog, if I remember correctly. Of
yeah, you bite her. She moan a bit because it's a pleasure a thing.
course.
Uh, and uh, and after a while, like you drank and she sleeps, you lick her neck, and when you get out of the room, and Joshua was downstairs, right? When you go out of the room, you meet her father, and he look and what you did to my daughter. She was moaning inside her.
Oh, it was nothing at all. In fact, I'd like you to forget this ever happened, and I'd like to use cloud memory on him.
Okay. Uh,
It's free of free of rouse checks, no roll needed for
oh, no, no,
mortals.
no problem. And then he,
Yeah,
who the hell is you?
and then oh, yeah, no. Before he gets out of that haze, I'd already
Yeah,
have left me and Joshua.
he's still a few minutes like hypnotized. Yeah.
Yeah, and me and Joshua will go ahead and leave.
Okay.
When we get back to the car, I'll tell Joshua to drive back to the our haven, my
Mhm.
haven. And in the meantime, I'd like to call what was her name?
Sasha.
The venture I was discussing.
Yeah,
Yes,
Sasha.
I would like
Yeah.
to call her again. How
Yeah,
could I
sure.
forget? So
Yeah.
irresponsible.
You use the fixed phone that there is
Of course,
in the car,
a
right?
burner.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's like a fixed but mobile. And then
Yep.
you manage to call her number, and she's talking to you. Okay, so hello.
Hello there. I've just had an interesting chat with the mayor and his little associate. That business should be dealt with. What has the prince said about ghouling the mayor? Has he agreed to it?
Yeah, he agreed. Don't worry about that. You can do that.
Sure. Tomorrow night I'll begin the process. In the meantime, the girl and the mayor, the whole situation should be sorted. In fact, don't think there's going to be a situation like that again to be repeated. So,
Hmm.
good.
Okay.
Uh,
Have
this other person who was on the election, you said they were related to that group of people, the Second Inquisition.
Yeah, the opposition is
What?
connected to that. Yeah.
What do you know about that person?
He's a man, been in the police when previously from the politics. He got elected as in a for the house of the city, right? And in trying to do
Sure.
to with some laws about making the police stronger or have more freedom for the police. He never made a lot of things like he couldn't implement his projects, his laws, but he's there making
Mm.
a fuss. And last election, he almost ran, um, but uh, but eventually, someone else in a party uh, managed to run, and eventually, I mean, we helped, right? And
Of course.
but he got quite angry, and he's gaining a lot of reputation with the common ground, and I think it would be impossible to don't allow him to run next time.
I see. Well, if you have any more information on him, I'd like you to send it to me later. Perhaps I could take care of that issue as well.
I think
But if not, that's fine as well. I have some contacts in the police that I can use to investigate who this man was before his politics career.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be harder because he has a lot of people in the police protecting him. So
Hmm,
it's not gonna be
I
easy
see.
for you to approach. But you can try. I don't
Of
mind.
course, I'm a man of caution after all. Don't think it should be big of a problem. And if my team accompanies me, my coterie, then it shouldn't be a big of a problem.
Hmm.
Still, if they know we are here, DSI, we can try to make some deal, but most likely that won't work. So it's good to destroy the roots before the tree grows. We don't want whole teams of Second Inquisition hunters here. We can get rid of this person before they establish a base here and all that jazz. Then the better.
For sure, for sure. I agree.
Mm. Oh yeah. Later, you can send me the information about him, and maybe next night I'll pay him a visit, see what it's about, investigate a little bit, maybe take my time. We'll see. Thanks for the chat. I'll come by Elysium tomorrow night, and maybe I'll see the prince myself.
Okay. So you sleep for the rest of the night, right? The day actually.
Or,
You're gonna sleep through the day. Next night, you wake up. You receive some messages from people from your business that they talk to the woman. She will she went to a interview. She was fine, right? So it was enough for her to a business position in the company.
of course,
Um, so she will be hired when all the bureaucracy and is enough, right? Are done. Um, and of course, the mayor fired her. So it is on in a small media that she's fired, and will replace the person with a man. Um, so you get to know that you get a sensation that you everything worked as your plan.
of course. Uh, if there is time, I would like to. Let me roll for the Ralph check again. Um, I would like to pay the mayor a visit before he goes to sleep. First thing in the morning. Well, not morning, obviously. First thing when I wake
Mm-hmm.
up. I'd like to pay him a visit, give him a little bit of vitae, privately, of course. Good. And once that's done, I would like to visit Elysium, and we can either role play that right now or continue next session, whichever you prefer.
No, no, we can do it. The visit of the mayor right now. Don't worry. Uh,
Sure, sure.
you you talked to the mayor, and he said, okay, but let's not do it at my place. I will. I'll send you an address. Meet me there. I'll have a meeting. I'll pretend I'll have a meeting there late of night, and you meet me there. Okay?
So, sure thing. I will meet you there. So, once he gives me the location, I'll just have Joshua drive me down.
Okay. You.
And where does he choose this meeting spot? What is this place? Is like
It's in a
somewhere
hotel.
fancy?
It's in a
It's a
hotel.
hotel. Sure.
Um, it's here. It's in a hotel. You
Sure.
go with him. It's a fancy hotel. Um, kind of old, but fancy. And he gets a big room for him. And he says, usually I do my stuff around here, and I have some, you know, more intimate meetings in here. When you get there, he's there.
Won't be. Mhm. Yeah, I'll roll up my sleeve and I wouldn't even bite into the wrist. If there's a sharp object nearby,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to cut the wrist, pour it into a cup, hand it to him.
Yeah, you can use your fangs as well. So
A little bit less
dramatic, right?
barbaric.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
the
okay.
blue bloods. We do not
Mm-hmm.
partake in this bite my wrist activity.
Okay. And he starts drinking your blood, and he clearly is enjoying a lot. And roll me a couple of rouse checks, right? One for the waking up, and now one for giving him blood.
Yeah, I did roll for waking up just now. I'll roll
Mm-hmm.
for the blood.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fine.
You're still
I'm
one.
on quite the streak.
Yeah. You're still one of hunger. We'll stop him
Mm-hmm.
after one drink, or you're gonna let him keep drinking.
No, no, I will stop him.
Okay. Uh, then he looks at you. He clearly is more relaxed now, and more calm. And he cleaned his mouth, and he says, "Oh, that was very very good. I was needing that."
Uh, sure you were. 6 months without your Demeter must have been quite the ordeal. But
Yeah.
anyways, I would like to inquire about who this Maria Demeter was of yours. Send me her information later,
Yeah,
and I'll
sure.
run some investigations on where she went out of town and what she's doing.
I didn't know a lot about her, but I have her emails. I have an email of her, and yeah, that's the way we used to communicate. And then he gives her email to you.
Mm, sure, it's fine.
And as you are ending the conversation with him, uh, you hear someone banging on the door. Open up! It's the police.
I look at the mayor. I'm like,
The
oh,
mayor,
you have some company.
the mayor, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Hmm, well, interesting to say the least. Oh, damn. Um,
Open up!
okay.
We're gonna open the
So,
door. If you don't open up, we're gonna
me and
start banging on
Joshua,
the door. Joshua is
yeah, me and
on the
Joshua.
street.
Oh,
He's on the car, right?
no, I would have taken him with me if when we went up to the hotel.
Inside the hotel, inside the room of the hotel.
Yeah,
Okay, he's there with you.
yeah, sure. Me and Joshua are just gonna walk to the front door, and I will calmly open the door. I'll say, "Hello, gentlemen. There's no need for
When
guns or violence. We're unarmed."
when you open the door, you see like four soldiers, heavily armed to the teeth. Do you have a blush of life
Hmm.
in you?
Y- You know, I will activate it.
Give me a rouse check.
Okay, here we go. Hunger 2. Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Uh,
have awe up. I'll activate awe.
okay. Um,
Mm.
they will push you and enter the room. Like they push you around and enter the room, and they will point a gun at the mayor's house from the mayor's head, and another man will come right beside him and say, "You're gonna go with us. You're gonna go with us." And the other two gonna keep looking at you with guns pointing at you,
Mm.
and they are checking on the radio
Interesting.
for something.
Okay. Are there any cameras inside this hotel room?
No, and then the guy is like,
No.
"We have two other guys in here with him. What do we do with them? Arrest them as well?" And they are waiting for orders.
Okay. Let's see what I want to do. See, I do want to, get into a fight if I can beat them, of course. But what if they shoot the mayor before that? Quite an interesting situation. Does one of them seem to be the leader of the bunch?
Yeah, the one that is arresting the mayor, right behind the
Sure.
mayor.
I have awe up, right? So I can get his attention pretty quickly.
Okay.
And I would like to try and mesmerize him.
Okay, so now I'm gonna need a roll.
Of course. So first the Rouse check.
Hmm.
Still hunger two. And my command will be tell your man to stand down and leave this place. So make the roll now. Dominate that. Not a lot of dice, but I will use Blood Surge, so that's another hunger.
Okay, you got to two more dices, right?
Yep,
Do
Blood
that.
Surge. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong dice. Excuse me. It's supposed to be 10 total.
Okay.
I'll re-roll. Here we go. Eight. There we go. This is the correct roll.
A.
Ooh, Missy Critical.
That's quite an issue.
So either shit goes down or I get a compulsion.
No, no, you succeeded, right? But in a very nasty
Of course.
way. So what happens is, as you order him to stand down, you you got very aggressive, and you scary him. And when you scary him, he fires his gun, and the cops shoot around. He shoots the other cop, dies instantly. And then the other cops go and say, "What the hell is going on?" And then he shoots another guy. And then this guy shoots him and he starts killing themselves. And the mayor got shot as well in the process.
Ooh. Is anyone left other than us?
So the mayor falls in a bed, bleeding. The four cops are dead. And the mayor is still alive, but he just got shot in the belly.
Sure. Fuck.
And there's a lot of blood in the room. The room smells like a big strong of blood.
Right. I will feed him some more of my blood.
Okay. So you get there, of course, you get uh, stains of blood in your body, in your clothing, not only because of they're all dead, and when they shot around, the blood of the cops like went to the roof and to the floor and to furniture and into your driver
Of course.
and so everywhere. And you gave the mayor more blood. It should save his life, but roll me a rouse check because you're gonna need actually two rouse checks.
Sure. And in the meantime, I'd like for Joshua to call his contacts at the police to try and clear some of this up. Or actually, I'd like him to call um, Natasha
Natasha is
and
Sasha,
see if
right?
she can.
Sasha, right?
Tasha, excuse me,
Yeah, Sasha.
and see if
Okay.
she can help us in any way.
Okay, okay. He will do that. And
Hunger increased.
hunger increase. How much you hunger you have?
I'm at 4.
Yeah, you can feed from the cops. The cops are dead, but the heart's still beating, right? If you walk
I'd
there.
prefer not to.
Okay. But you are looking a lot. There's a lot of blood in the room. That probably helps to increase your hunger too, right? And in a role-playing way. And you gonna take the mayor with you, or you gonna leave him there?
No, I will take him with me once we get some answer from Sasha on what to do.
Yeah. Well, a minute later, your driver says, like, get him in a car and let's get away
Yeah, yeah,
of this town tonight, and we come back later.
sure. We'll get in the car and we'll start driving off. I'd like to go to the haven that Joshua owns, the safe house at the bank,
Okay.
3 dot, 3 dot haven.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more secure. And I'd like to go there and I'll let Sasha know about everything that just happened. Like the whole thing, starting from beating the mayor, the shots, where we went.
She
We just
just
make sure she's all filled in on what just happened.
she just says, Jesus. Okay, I'll try to take care of things.
Yeah, and make sure you get the equipment, some of the equipment back from the soldiers. They seem to have some sort of scanners. Um, maybe SI, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see what I can do. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able
Like,
to help in the hotel, but I'll try at least make you stealthy, so they will not hunt you.
sure, sounds like a
And
plan.
and you go to your haven. The mayor seems to be getting better a little bit. He's not getting worse, at
Sure,
least.
I'd like to keep him in a separate room from me,
Hmm.
just so I don't accidentally frenzy.
Okay.
Um, and I would like to call in one of my herd members. I
Okay.
believe I have two.
Okay. You can feed on them. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take. I need to roll to resist hunger
Yeah.
frenzy once I bite them. But I'd like to sate 2 rouse checks worth from that one vessel, just so I don't hurt them at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the difficulty 3. Jesus. Okay. Ooh. Can I willpower this or
How much you roll? Let's see. Uh,
2 instead of 3?
yeah, you can.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
But
Oh,
remember, you cannot
fuck.
willpower hunger dice, right? So it's just
Of
the
course.
regular dice.
Yeah. It's still 2 successes.
You can willpower again.
Uh. No. I'll drink it. It's fine.
So you're gonna kill one of your
Three
herd.
rouse checks worth.
You're gonna kill.
No, I'm not gonna kill her. I'll drink 3 rouse checks worth. So if she survives, not sure. Would she survive at 3 rouse checks? I'm not sure. I'd like to keep her alive. I'll just drink whatever is necessary. So just 3.
Yeah, what you can do to save her is to ghoul her up, right? So you drink 3 dots from her, and you actually give your blood to her, one, and you need a rouse check to see if you increase your hunger,
Sure,
and you ghoul her up to save her life.
sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
And then in that case, I'd also like to keep her here until she's more recovered. And then next night,
Mm-hmm.
I'll need to have a chat.
Yeah. And then you can drink.
Here's the rouse check.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm at hunger 2 now.
you can drink from the other to clean your this. this dot of hunger, right?
Yeah, just one dot. So yeah, I'm down, back down to one.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, I'd like to do a little thing here. Um, Joshua has some allies. It's a hit squad of mortals, and I'd like to see if he can get them to come guard the haven at the bank during the daylight hours.
Yeah, there are some guards in front of your bank, mostly kindred, but there are
Mm.
some human guards as well, ghouls,
Then it's
and
fine. Yeah,
then the night goes on. You feed, and the mayor gets a bit better, but he's still sleeping. And after all, he took a bullet to his belly, right? And
sure,
uh, and the night is over, and you get all rest for the next one. So this is our
sure.
session, and we managed to
Mm-hmm.
catch up. And you're probably gonna
Yep.
meet, go to Elysian or meet the Coterie on the next night, if you
Yep.
please to do that. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I'll move
Thank
on
you.
to Paula scene. Hello there. So let's continue our session. Let's play the part with Paula. She's here with me right now, and we're gonna play the second night of hers. So we already did 2 nights for Madame, for Edgar, for Michael, and now we're gonna do the second night for Lizzie. Right? The first night, Lizzie went to an Anarch nightclub slash brothel, and there she met Lillian, the boss of the nightclub, right? And she danced on the pole dance. She got a customer where she fed, where she I think she fed, and but she was like she failed in a series of rouse check and she got very hungry. While she was talking to Lillian on her personal private room, Lillian noticed that Lizzie was a kindred and initiated a blood bond with Lizzie by giving her blood to Lizzie. Although this happened, there was also a positive news that Lizzie heard that Dante Vargas, the leader of the Anarchs, is going to be in the nightclub in the next night. So finally, the next night arrived, and Lizzie woke up around 8:30 during the night. And tell me what you do, Lizzie. I understand that you are going to go to the nightclub, right? So please, quick introduce yourself and then say what Lizzie will do.
Okay. Hello there. Hi, everybody. I'm Paula, and I'm playing with Lizzie. Now I'm going to the nightclub and expected to find the man I was looking for. And well, no bound this time, please.
No, sorry. What did you add? Is that what did you say? No,
Don't get in the bound, né?
bound. What do you
Blood
mean?
bound
Ah,
again.
blood bound. No more blood bounds. Right, right.
No more blood
Exactly.
bound again.
Exactly. Let's hope that you don't drink more blood, right?
Yeah.
For kindred blood, right? So okay,
Oh yeah.
let's do it.
Let's
So
go. Go.
you get yourself ready, right? With your dancing clothes, put probably a jacket above it. Don't call too much attention on the street, and you arrive at the nightclub. In a motorbike here just wants to enter the roleplay. Well, okay, and okay, so That's the sound that you heard on the street while you were going to the nightclub, right? Uh, Lots of bikes on the street, and then it's an ANAC bar, right? So there should be a lot of bikers around. It makes sense. So you arrived at the nightclub, and you see essentially the same thing from last night. So there is a girl dancing on the pool dance. Oh, please roll me a rouse check for waking up, and also another rouse check for making yourself less pale, right? Of a blood. Uh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
Another?
another one.
Another one? Okay. Oh,
Okay. So only one increase of hunger. You are hunger two. Um, and your skin now is warm, and you look like a human being, not a corpse anymore. Uh, you arrive at the place. The girl is dancing. Lillian's behind a counter, and there are a few men checking the girls, drinking, having some laughs. We are approaching the weekend, right? So it's more crowded. There will be more customers around the nightclub. Emily this time didn't want to join you. After all, she already had a bad history with this nightclub, so she stayed at the Haven. You already know your way, right? So it was easier for you to get into the beach area, right? With probably a cab or something like that.
okay. I want to um, look for something uh, strange or something different in there. Something like, uh, oh, I don't know.
You want to look
I
for
have,
something supernatural, something
yeah,
suspicious, supernatural.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's wit with occult. So
Okay, just a
wits
minute.
here with occult. You can roll that to see if there is something
It's a
amiss in the
code.
place.
Okay. I have to put it. Oh, just a minute.
Okay, no problem.
Oof. Okay.
Okay, two successes is enough to notice that there is something weird in this nightclub, right? You are a kindred and you understand a bit from the occult, and you feel some kind of a weary presence in a place. But it's not Lillian. Lillian is kind of very warm presence. She seems uh, very attractive to you, and so
Okay.
it's not something that you feel bad, right? But there is something in the air that kind of feels out of place, something like a small shadow, but you cannot identify exactly what it is. Like you have a weird feeling about it, but you don't actually understand what it is, right? You would need more roles to understand what it is. More successes, sorry.
I can try again.
Not now, not now.
No.
Maybe
Okay.
later. So
Okay.
anything else you want to do?
I want to uh, go around at the place and see if I could find some information about the girl I uh, that I was looking for. What
Uh,
happened to her?
you're not looking for any particular girl, are you? Because you're looking up for Dante Vargas, the leader, the anarch leader, right?
Okay.
Are you looking for another girl? I'm not sure.
But no, no. That my sire said I was something have happened with the girls in there. That I have to find something.
I do not recall. I recall your sire asking you to go to the nightclub, to this nightclub, to find more
Yeah.
information about Dante Vargas, and that
Ah, okay.
perhaps the girls would have this kind of information, right?
Ah, okay, okay, okay,
The
okay. My
girls from
mistake.
the nightclub, because they attend to many men, and of course they might interact it with some and have information. So you could talk to a girl after she dances, but it could be a bit rush, a bit just a small talk.
Okay.
Of course, they are working, right? So there's a lot of girls. They're waiting for dancing. As you arrive, some men are old men are approaching women and trying to get some, enjoyment. And let's do something. Let's do a roll to see if you are capable of engaging with a worker without in a proper time, without getting a lot of interactions with customers, right? Uh,
Okay.
so so roll charisma with persuasion, and it's not seduction, so you cannot use your speciality. So it's only
Okay.
charisma and persuasion. So four dices, and see if you can. Five dices because you're beautiful, right? So
Yeah.
five dices, and see if you can actually grab the attention of a girl and manages to get some info before a man approaches you.
Manipulation?
Oh, it's charisma with persuasion,
Ah, persuasion. Okay, okay, okay,
because you're not
okay.
trying to
Plus
seduce
one.
anybody, right? It's just
Okay,
and not trying to lie or anything like that. You just gather
okay.
info. Two successes. It's not that good, right? You managed to get to talk to a girl after she leaves the pole dancing, and she's a bit sweat from all the dance that she did, and another girl gets on the pole, and she's kind of free in that moment. There's not a guy like searching for her, so you start talking with her,
Mm-hmm.
and you manage to get information that Dante Vargas will be here in a couple of hours, and then he usually talks uh, for a few hours, for an hour, around an hour with Lillian, and then he usually gets a girl from himself and pay extra cash, right? So all the girls are like very excited because Dante Vargas are going to come, and he's gonna pay more than the usual that they get. So they are very happy and wanted to and excited for that moment, right?
Okay. There, I could ask if he have some kind of girl he likes most.
Like more.
More.
Yeah, he does enjoy provocative women that knows her ways of dancing,
Oh, it's
and
good.
so he likes women that does erotic dancing.
Okay, I wait for him and prepare a dance for it.
Okay. So after, but remember, of course, he's a kindred, and
Okay.
if he bites you, and he will notice that you are kindred as well. So it might be harder to get him on this level. Just for you to notice. Well, as you're waiting in line to dance, of course, Lillian notices you are around and she gets to you. And you are not, of course, in a rush to dance because you're waiting for him to show up. And, uh, and Lillian grabs you by the arm and brings you to a corner here. And she says, I have to talk to you. Will you
Okay.
follow me to my room?
Okay.
Okay. So she leads you this time to another place. It's actually a more cozy place. It looks like her haven, actually, more than just like not more than just the private place that uh, she got right in the she got you in the previous time. This time is more like a bedroom. It looks like a motel, a room where intimate things happen. Let's see if I can find the place here of the image, perfect image for the room. I used to have an image here, but I forgot to set it up. So let's see. Yeah, I have it here. Found it. Took me a minute, but found it. So this is her room, and it's a quite comfortable place. And essentially, let's get the characters here. So Lizzie and Lillian. And it has a bathtub, a hot tub. It has a nice big bed, and you also see a very old computer on a desk and a closet with a lot of clothing, right? And there's a lot of drawers and things like that. You can notice just by looking, right? She brings you to the room. She closes the door and says, "Well, I rather talk to you here because it's here. You don't have any cameras. Nobody's filming anything. They don't have any kind of bugs. So, and it's better for the masquerade for us to have the conversations in here. Please get comfortable. You can sit on the bed or anywhere you like."
Okay. I sit on a bed.
You sit on the bed. She sits right beside you, and you notice like some kind of a sexual tension between you two because she's very attractive. And even though you don't really like women, right? I think you never did, even as a mortal. She draws attention from you, even more than your sire, Mila, right? It's kind of a weird, and you don't know if it's the blood bond that started last night talking, or if it's something more. But right from the get-go, from last night, she already called you a lot of attention, right? She already draw attention from you. And as she touches with you with her hot skin and her beautiful body, she starts talking with a very charming voice, very sweet voice. And she says that, "Oh, you are new, and I think you deserve quite a shot and quite a trust from me because I do believe you have a lot of potential. You can establish a very good partnership, and I know that you can be very useful for the Anarchs, and We are needing new recruits, and you seem to be quite talented. So it will be welcome to receive you. Tonight, I'm going to receive our leader, Dante Vargas, will arrive, and I would like to introduce him to you. But you know, he can be quite temperamental, so it would be wise to introduce you in a proper moment and be very respectful. I know that sometimes it's hard, especially when they are, you know, men, sometimes quite arrogant, and they, especially the ones who has a lot of power. But he really likes respect, and I think he will like you if you behave, of course. And when she says behave, of course, she's touching your face with her right hand, and she gives you small, hits your face very lightly with her fingers when she says respect.
Okay, I understand. um, okay, if you could do that for me, I will be glad. And so I will behave.
Okay,
Um,
go ahead.
no, no, it's okay.
Okay. Uh, so she smiles, very happy. She exposes her neck to you. She's trying to seduce you, but not very aggressively yet. Uh, but only trying to make a uh, good impression on you. So please roll for me resolved with composure. You have 5 dices, just to see how much attracted you are for her.
Composure resolve.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have 5 dices.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you are very attractive to her. 2 successes. You're kind of licking your lips when you look at her neck, right? Uh, so since you are not very hungry, and you get a grip of yourself, but you really wanted to bite her, and she start approaching you, start smelling your neck, smelling your hair, touching you gently. And when it seems that she's gonna do something, the someone knocks at the door, and she says,
Okay.
"Oh crap! Just now, right?" So that it's like she has to get up and go to the door, and you can only hear like, "He's here." A man tells her, and she trembles. Check, you sense that she automatically changed her posture, her way. She was very relaxed with you, very gentle, and now you can notice that she got nervous and stressed out, right? Just the thought of him being there already changed her, right? So she looks at you and says, "Okay, honey, I have to, talk to him and see what he wants, and I'll call you when he's ready. So please get comfortable in this place. I'll be right back." Well, not exactly right back. It could take an hour, but relax and have some fun. There's a TV there, and radio. So yeah, yeah. We have to go. Yeah. Okay, okay. And then she shuts the door and leaves you alone in a room. And as she goes away, her kind of a magic air that was glancing your eyes and make you not think straight goes away as well. And you
Mhm.
suddenly go back to yourself and remember your mission, and you can see the computer and the closet
Okay.
as being good places for a search. You only have an hour, so you essentially have a couple of options here. You could quickly search both of them, and it will be a difficult role to find information because you're doing very rushed, or you could focus in one of them and search more truly, and that will be a way easier role to find something. Oh, the pros and the cons: if you search only one place, you are more likely to find something. The con is you only find something from one of these places. If you try to search for both, the pro is you can find the information of both of them, but the con is you may find nothing because the role is going to be way harder. You have two of wits and none and no points of investigation. So
Yeah.
you probably should try. Well, that's your call, not mine. So
Okay. I okay, I could find anything. I just have one in technology.
yeah, yeah. On the computer would
I
be
could
wits
use
with
it.
technology. On the
Yeah.
closet, it could be wits with um,
Mm,
it should be investigation, but yeah, it should be investigation. You would have two rolls. You can blood surge yourself to have two extra dices though, but you need a rouse
okay.
check. You need a rouse check for that.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay, so roll around. Yeah, you are hunger three now,
Okay.
and you can. So you have two extra dices. You
Okay.
what do you want to search, and you want to do a quick search or a full search?
I want a full search.
A full search, and what do you want a
Yeah.
full search? Like you can spend the rest of the hour going to her closet or checking her computer. That is open with no password. She really doesn't get too much of technology, Lillian.
Okay. Let's see. I look in her closet. I
Her
think
closet, right?
her
You're
closet.
gonna check the drawers or her dresses and things like that to
Yeah.
see if something interesting shows
Yeah.
up. So please roll for me wits, right, with investigation, which will be four dices.
Okay. What's an investigation? Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I have. I was talking in Portuguese. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Okay. It's wits and
Investigation and put a
investigation.
+2 in a row so you can
Okay. Okay.
roll
Okay.
the four dices because of the blood search.
Two. Okay. Let's do it. Oh boy. It's, it's amazing. Okay.
You need to spend willpower. Spend the
Oh
willpower
yeah.
and roll the four.
Again.
Roll one dice right now because you're hungry, so you can only roll one dice. The other two are hunger dices. You cannot re-roll.
I can
Just roll one
use the
dice.
house check.
No, no, you don't need to use Rouse checks. Just the willpower grants you up to three regular dices, but you only have one regular dice in your roll. The other are hunger dices, so you only roll one dice.
Okay. Well, where I can do that.
Yeah, you can roll at Discord if you want to. It's on the
Okay.
it's on the recording,
Okay.
so don't
Just a
worry.
minute. Okay. 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 Oh, let's do something. Oh no. Oh,
Oh, that's a 10. That's a 10. That's better than nothing, right? So you got a one success, and since you did a full search, you managed to find some things. Uh,
okay.
you were at the closet, And for a while you were checking her clothing, and you see a lot of dresses, underwear, mostly. She has a lot of provocative clothing, very tight dresses, a lot of cleavage. She doesn't have a lot of bras, like one or another only, but mostly very, very provocative, provocative clothing. So yeah, she probably doesn't use it a lot. And there is, but the drawers, you actually find something interesting besides panties, right? You find some letters that she exchanging with, it seems like a kindred. She exchanged letters with a lot of men. Most of them feels like you can read, you can sense by the reading that they, well, the words that they pick, right? They choose. Most of them are completely in love with her. But there is a particular man that draws your attention, that he doesn't seem very interested in her. She actually is the one that writes in a more gentle way to him, and him is more like let's do business, all right? And you you recognize the address. The address of the letter is inside the campus in the social studies. And you remember that Emily mentioned there are brujas there. So he's probably an anarch bruja. And his name is Ricardo. She talks to him a lot, and they are. It seems that they have some kind of business that she wants his help with. So perhaps it could be an investigation thing to do
Hum,
later, right?
uhum. É, eu guardo na memória, né? Eu vou deixar os negócios. Ai,
Portuguese,
I'm sorry,
Portuguese,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
no problem.
Okay, forget about it. I will uh,
Memorize. You're memorized.
memorize it and put the letter on the right place.
Okay. So she doesn't
Okay.
notice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you as you memorize everything, and you close the drawer, um, you were going, you went here back, and suddenly she appears again. She opens the
Okay.
door. You see her face. She definitely changed, right? She feels exhausted. You already noticed that she's tired, and it was like just 1 hour of conversation. This man is probably or very rude or very uh, you are negative on her, right?
Okay.
And she felt a lot of pressure. You know, and she opens the door, and uh, she released uh, that relaxing breathing, despite that she doesn't breathe, but she does it anyway. And she looks at you and says, "Well, you are a welcome sight. Well, we need to go. We need to. He wants to meet you. So shall we?" And she stands her hand for you to grab.
Um, are you okay?
Yeah, yeah, just business as usual.
Okay. Okay. I I stand my hand for her and
You grab her hand. Okay.
oh, yeah, I grab her.
Yeah. Okay. So you are back to the Anarch nightclub there, the image,
Okay.
and you're both in a private room here, and you sit down in the other place, and you met the man. As you enter the room, I'm gonna give a zoom here. As you enter the room um, of Mr. Vargas, you you enter the place, and you see a very strong man, which a very pale skin. He's does not look human at all. He seems to be a bit consumed by darkness, by by the beast, and he's not attractive at all in terms of a human, but he has some charm. He probably was interesting in the past, very muscled and handsome, but now he feels more as a beast than a human. And as he looks at you, he doesn't seem very interested in your body like usually men are. Men usually look at your eyes and suddenly look at your other eyes. That stays
Mhm.
on your chest and then looks at the rest of your body. And usually it takes some time to look at your official eyes
Okay.
again first. And that's not what Mr. Vargas does. He looks straight up to your eyes and stays there. And it's quite intimidating. He also has a deep voice, and as he looks at you, he says, "So, you're lazy, right?"
Oh, yeah.
"Hmm. So I never heard of a new bruja. I was not informed. So what's your story, girl?"
I think I'm a little lost, and I'm just looking for a place.
Roll for me uh, subterfuge with manipulation because you're lying. So you have
Okay.
6 dices, and you can add the beauty one. It always helps, despite that
Okay.
he doesn't really care, but it always helps. so, so I think it's 7 dices. I don't if I.
Yeah, it's a good now.
Yeah, you had a critical success. So he looks at you, he smiles, and says, "Fine. Well, more meat for the meat grinder. Good to know that we are hiring talents, and way to go, Lillian. She will be nice asset for us. And we are Anax, right? So have fun. Drink from someone today and, enjoy the night. I was glad to meet you. Well, I have other business to attend to. Do you have any questions, new girl?"
Oh, no, not the moment. Because thank you for accepting me here.
Okay, great. Well, Lillian can help you out if you need to. So, and then he raises up, gets to Lillian, touches her face, grabbing her by the chin, and look into her eyes and say, "Remember, Lillian, you are all mine now, so behave." And he slapped her face. She moves her neck round, and then he goes away. And Lillian shakes her head a bit because of the slap. There wasn't. Uh, it, it wasn't a soft slap. Like, she really gets head, her face very red by the head, and she looks at you. "Well, so you got to know the boss. Charming, isn't him? Ah,
Yeah, yeah, if you say so.
yeah, that's irony."
Oh, yeah.
So,
Lord.
well, let's continue our discussion. Let's get back to my room.
Okay, I need to feed myself, you know.
Oh, that's one more reason to go to my room.
Boy.
So you can roll. She, in the moment that she does that, of course she exposes a bit more of her body to you. She's seducing you
Okay.
very aggressively now.
Okay.
And roll for me. Composure will resolve. See you can succeed. Otherwise, you're gonna feed on her.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, you're gonna feed on her. So you both go to the room, to her room. You go to bed and you start kissing each other, start, you know, having some intimate moments,
Enjoying
and
it.
yeah, and she will give you her neck for you to bite her, and you do, and you
Yeah.
drink quite a lot, and to recover your hunger to one, and then you kiss more, and it's a very good moment for you
Hmm.
both. And roll now. I want you to try to seduce her.
Okay. I
If you
what
want, yeah, it's seduction is charisma with seduction, right? So you can use both persuasion or subterfuge. So
okay, persuasion I have to
and you got a blood,
manipulation.
yeah, and you got a blood. No, it's charisma with persuasion
Sorry.
because you're you're using
Okay.
seduction, right? So you have three dices on the skill because of the speciality. You have two dices on the attribute, so it's five, and you also have two extra dices on the blood
Uh,
search.
uh,
So you can roll two extra dices on Discord.
okay.
I
Charisma
forgot. I
plus.
no, it's just to the two extra dices now on Discord you can roll because I forgot you did a blood search, so you can do that.
Oh yeah.
Just roll.
Charisma plus.
No. Just roll 2d10. No, on Discord.
Okay, two dice.
Yeah, you already rolled
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Cute.
That's enough. Okay, but three successes. I'll roll for her to see if she can. I don't think she will be able to resist you.
Okay.
Resolve with composure. Yeah,
Oh.
she didn't resist you. She bites you. And as you trade some blood with her, uh, she will feed from you, and then you feed from her again. You will stay the rest of the night dating her in bed, and you're gonna spend the day with her. You're gonna both sleep in the same bed, have very intimate moments with her. But you both drink from each other. So now you are fully blood bonded with her, and she will have some bonding with you too. So it's
Okay.
not as negative as before, right?
I have a girl.
Yeah, exactly. You have a girlfriend now.
I have a girlfriend now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it for our session, and
Okay.